So let's answer the question, what did you do with your COVID-19 vacation? Did we do that, Speed? Here we go. Got a hold of a 1973 bus, spent its life on the Central Coast carrying surfers up and down to Mexico and up around San Francisco and so on. Pretty rusty, so we did a lot of work on it. Here we go. This placed all the metal down here where you see the light green. That all had to be cut out and replaced. We got new glass in the windshield. We got new mirrors. Straightened up the bumper a little bit. Put in some LED headlights. New LED bulbs in all the electrical system. Built a receiver under here so we could carry our mountain bikes out to Fort Ord. We got a trolley bell on there to alert folks when we get too close if we're really quiet. Yeah. There's a lot of work here. There we go. I got a birthday present from my sister. Thank you, Kathy, for the caps for the Schrader valves. Put running boards on here so that we could reach up to the roof rack up on top. Put simple kind of utilitarian panels in here, but we put some paint on them. Stencil some poppies in here. The upholstery was in pretty good shape. This bed actually flattens out, and this seat flattens out if we wanted to make a bed, I suppose. The pillow came from, thank you, Laura Lee, who followed this project and got inspired one day. Under here is a battery box, holds a couple of the batteries for the car. Up front, we have basic 1973 dashboard. It's got a useless gas gauge, a useless oil gauge, and a useless generator gauge. So we'll have to find something to do with those. Speedometer, that's how we figure out when we're going to 55. This is a state of charge meter. It gives us volts, amps, consumption rate, and so on, and it's used for programming the system. In here we have another meter. This is called an 840 Spyglass, and that's for programming the controller. We got some auxiliary switches here. We're learning how to do this electric business, so we've got a reverse, fan, a regeneration, a pump for the batteries. I got 12 volt auxiliary things here. That USB and a 12 volt socket, and I can switch those off or on so I don't run dead. And there's a bell for the trolley.
What is it?
Okay, and we put in a new radio from Retro Sound. Kick panels are new, ABS plastic, new speakers. Service panel under here with a descaler or prescaler and other components needed to operate the electrical system. There's a pedal from a Prius. Hall effect sensor. It gives us a replacement accelerator. Pretty white snake is just a way to ring or beep the horn. That's a whole other story, a whole other video. We had to replace one light up there, but we were able to save one of the originals in there. New headliner. Way around. New sunshades. rebuilt the cups for the hinges back there with fiberglass. Moving along. Here's where we charge it up. Fuel goes in the same old place so that we can go down the road. Ready here to do a little tailgating if we get down to the beach. And let's take a look and see what makes it work. So yeah, a lot of parts back here. Not many of them move. There are 3 battery modules, 1, 2, 3. The orange caps cover up connections. They're sitting where the gas tank used to be. The batteries have a coolant system. Comes out of you see the pink coolant line? Comes out, runs around, goes up front, and eventually it goes through a Durali radiator that has an auxiliary fan on it, temperature controlled. This is a 12-volt vacuum pump that I can plug in, and that'll give me hydraulic brakes, power brakes, which is something you give up when you give up having an internal combustion engine with a exhaust or an intake manifold. Here we have electrical distribution back here. The big cables carry the big electricity, and the little cables carry all the signals. Black box, the gray box contains contactors, which are fancy relays. And this part here is a big E. This is an inverter. This converts electricity from the batteries, which is direct current, into alternating current, and send it around to the motor to make it go. The motor is an AC50 from HP EVS, and most of this stuff came from EV West, San Marcos, California. Thank you, Michael Bream. Thank you, Jehu Garcia. Okay, this little pump here pumps coolant through these lines, which cools the chill plate that keeps the inverter from overheating. That's real important because that's a big electronic package. On this side, we have a kill switch, which disables the high voltage electricity in the vehicle so that if we're working back here, we don't hurt anybody. Over here, we have a 12-volt battery out of a Ski-Doo or something. It's that runs the legacy system. All of the things that you see in your normal car that are run on 12 volts, we run off of this. And this gets charged by the device up there called a DC to DC converter, which converts high voltage from the big Tesla batteries into 12 volts for the rest of the car. This is a charger. This is wired to the gasoline door up there so that we can plug into the wall and charge up the batteries. Here we have battery management system, BMS is the usual term. And that's got little wires that go to every one of those battery cells. There's 6 cells in each of those big long modules. And it also has thermistors that go to each of those modules. So this thing can monitor temperature, and it can also control charging rate so that the batteries stay in balance. That's the key thing, is having the batteries always be charging and discharging at more or less the same rate, so that when they're maxed out, they're all maxed out, and when they're all at the bottom, they're all at the bottom. Okay, what do we lose here? I guess that's it. It all makes it go, and there's your warning. Watch where you put your fingers. Thanks for watching.